Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Roguelands. So we're on challenge mode. Why? Because I want to, and because I realized I'm not a smart person. I really am not. It's I'd say a crippling condition. I have done some pretty dumb things in the past. I've done some pretty dumb things right now. This character is a dumb thing. I have done terribly stupid things. Why am I being so hard on myself? I somehow forgot you can have multiple weapons in your inventory at a single point in time. You know how I was complaining about the lack of sidearms? Yeah, I'm dumb. Oh man, I am stupid. I can't believe I did this. Alright, whatever. Well, this is gonna make my life a little... Hi. That's fire from places whence I came. Alright, let's just fire at this guy. Yeah. Alright, you know what? Now's a good time to leave, because somebody just sent an Ugarok at me. Problem is, somebody also sent flaming fireballs of death and destruction towards me. Okay, there we go. So Ugarok's gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. Never mind. Ugarok's easy peasy. Yeah, this is why I wanted to bring this character through. I don't need a ranged character, I just need Ring of Bolt's axe. Hell, I don't even need Ring of Bolt's axe to even be leveled up here. I just need it. Pretty beastly weapon, all things considered. Like, yeah, I mean, it just does pure strength damage, or a projectile that does half strength damage, but you know what? That's fine by me. Especially if I could eventually get my strength up to, like, 200 or something. That's very possible, in fact. Yeah. Okay. We should probably consider healing. I need to make a faith character at some point. Somebody just entirely dedicated to healing. If I ever play this in multiplayer, I might actually be able to get Call of Doom to play with me, come to think of it. We're scheduled to actually play Starbound 1.0 together, which I'm really stoked for. I guess this is kind of real time. And I've talked about this before, like, many times, probably to the point where it's kind of annoying for you guys. But, like, I'm kind of super antisocial when it comes to YouTubing. By default, I'm not, like, a shy person. Nor an antisocial person, apart from, like, just my work is more important than socializing with random people, generally. It becomes a problem when your job requires you to be social all the time, so after a while, you're just like, I'm not super interested in hanging out with people, because, you know, I do that all the time. And yeah, I could do, like, the totally solo thing and never talk to anybody else and actually have a life outside of YouTube. Ow. But that would be rough, and it would definitely, like, impact my content to some degree. And my thoughts are, you know what? I might as well just kind of have a good time. You know, make YouTube friends, do YouTube things with YouTube friends. Because honestly, like, I've tried somewhat to connect with non-YouTubers. It's hard. It works sometimes, it doesn't work others. A lot of people just kind of have, like, I went to the eye doctors the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm a professional gamer, and you could just tell the eye doctor person was just like, yeah, okay. And I was like, alright. This doesn't matter. Then we talked about SpongeBob, because that was something she could understand. And, like, nothing against her. It's just a weird career, and I can't blame anybody for not being particularly interested in that sort of thing. But have I even used a healing potion yet? I don't think I have. This is encouraging. Sadly, the healing ward is hellaciously expensive comparatively. Oh yeah, piss these off. I wonder if the EXP things ever disappear. I don't know. Interesting question. But yeah, anyway, so I don't make a whole lot of friends outside of YouTube because ultimately it's a job that is hard to kind of separate from yourself. You can't just, like, turn off easily. Some people can, I can't. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm just going to stick with the Desolate Canyon here. I feel a little guilty for this, but we're going to go until I have $10,000 dues. Let's see. Or I get my weapon up to level 10. That'll help a lot. Oh, well, actually, that was not a bad idea. Wasn't the greatest, but I'll take it. Oops. Let's not do that with the crystal. We've got 3,000. Let's go over here. There we go. Yeah, so we have a bunch of Aether Light shards, bunch of Darkened shards, and one Omega shard. I'd like to get more of them. Okay, let's go back to this. I wouldn't mind leveling up Ring of Bolt's axe. I wouldn't mind leveling up my rings for the extra stats. Like, that almost is a priority, but the sooner that we get this forge weapon, the sooner we get legendary stuff. And that seems like a good idea. Okay, so back to rant time. Wow, yeah, I'm full health. So I don't make a whole lot of friends with people outside of YouTube, and I will admit, I don't actually make a whole lot of friends with people inside YouTube either. I'm not going to say naturally shy about it, but I have this thing about, like, people that I perceive to be, bigger and better than... Ah, fuck. Okay, well, this is a legitimate problem. We'll be fine. Obviously. Just, surprise! Luckily, I can just kind of take his place and we can try this again. I think he also gets stuck after a while. But I should probably heal. There we go. Yeah, it's not great, but it'll do, and it's cheaper than otherwise. Okay, but, yeah, so anybody I perceive to be, like, greater than me, or better than me, or bigger than me, or older than me, or wiser than me, or whatever, I kind of take this, I'm not gonna say, like, a super nervous approach, but, you know, it's kind of one of those where I like to be on even footing with people. I don't like to be better or worse, and this is part of the reason why I generally refuse to work with smaller YouTubers. It's just because, you know, I don't want to be responsible for anybody else. This includes, like, kids or teenagers or whatever. I'm very kind of individualistic, and honestly, my life is enough work as it is. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about that at some point, just because I think I gave off the wrong impression the other day. But... Ah! Oh, ow, 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 ow. You know what? Let's just start firing downwards. They'll catch up with me. Or they won't. I don't know. One way or another, we'll just sit here and heal, slowly. I think I'll put some points into Faith when we get the chance. Why? Because I don't really put points into anything. That's not really my deal. Okay, let's heal while we're here. Seeing as... Okay, but yeah, so I don't like being responsible for people, and I don't want people to feel responsible for me or, you know, slowed down by me or anything like that. So I prefer, usually when it comes to, like, contacting people on YouTube, I prefer to be, you know, somewhat of a... I'm gonna take damage here. Not much, though. That's good. Somewhat of an equal, instead of, you know, the smaller guy or the... Whoops, well, I didn't mean to do that. I don't have a whole lot of those. Oh, well. But yeah, I don't want to be seen as lesser or greater or anything like that. I just want to be me. And I always feel like the easiest way to do this is just by, you know, anybody I work with has to be, you know, relatively accomplished YouTuber, and has to be generally smaller than me or somebody that I've known for a while. There are other people this obviously does not apply for. Like, you know, I'll totally admit, I'd love to play with, like, Northern Lion and Company at some point. And, you know, someday I will probably actually catch up with at least some of them. I know I've already surpassed, Rockly Smile just in terms of views and stuff like that. But that's, like, a completely separate metric, especially because streaming is, like, I think his main revenue stream? Man, I don't even know. But it's kind of one of those where it's like... Maybe I could try and, like, get in contact and see if they'd be up for doing stuff, but at the same time, I have no idea. And it's always one of those where it's like, I don't want to come off as needy or anything. I just want to, you know, hang out and say hi and whatever. But the other problem is, of course, I'm the fan of these guys, so it makes it harder. From my perspective, because I can't just approach them. Because there's kind of the ulterior motive of, like, well, not even ulterior motive, ulterior awkwardness. Where I know more about these guys than they ever do about me. Like, I'm fairly certain... Well, I know Rockly Smile knows of my existence, and I know Northern Lion knows of my existence. Considering we've had discussions in the past, though minor, and honestly, he knows so many people. I'm probably just a blip on his radar or something. And, you know, I've definitely, like, talked about this in the past. It's just one of those where it's like, you know, I usually prefer to be on somebody's level. And so I probably won't bother contacting anybody like Northern Lion or Rockly Smile or anybody like that, even though, you know, who knows, maybe it would work. Just because I perceive myself as a lesser, not person, lesser YouTuber, up until the point where, you know, I can prove myself, which in this case, is simply by, you know, catching up to them, or at least getting to some, like, comparable level. And, you know, that's fine. But so, for Gull of Doom specifically, I was just like, you know, he's contacted me before. Apparently he'd actually offered to like, share contact information. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. I guess that did level up Ring of Bolt's... Damn. Ring of Bolt's axe is pretty damn good. Okay, Flutterfly, crit rate. Not that interested. Did waste the experience, though. Yeah, ideally what I'd like to do is, ooh, projectile range. Interesting. Yeah, what I'd like to do is have enough money to get a challenge 2 run by the end of today. We'll see. I don't know. I've got 5,000, 6,000 so far. What I need is 15,000. Luckily, scrap metal and cards are definitely going to offset that. So oops, that's not what we want. Let's drop off what resources we have collected. Luckily, it seems like the chests also carry some, like, cool stuff. Okay, nothing from here. I guess we can just drop everything off here, except for that. Not that. There we go. Because, yeah, this will go back here. I'll keep the that. And I know it's kind of boring to do Desolate Canyon over and over and over again, but there's really not a whole lot of options, given how limited the level set is for, like, what we want to do here. I might try... I'd be willing to try Higher Challenge Bifrost. Actually, yeah, Higher Challenge Bifrost and Ancient Runes are probably totally possible, given my current weapon setup, come to think of it. Because I haven't done any of the quests related, and the enemies there aren't any more or less dangerous than what I've already got. Okay, we'll pop out for that. Do maybe a challenge run, one of that. Once this becomes untenable, if we can keep looping challenge 1, Desolate Canyon, I probably will, just for the time being, but we'll see. I don't know. I have no plans here. I have no idea. But yeah, so for Gull specifically, I was just like, hey, you know, I know Starbound's coming out. Let's you wanna join me? And he was totally okay with it. And it's just like, I don't know why. I feel like I'm asking somebody out on a date here, which is bad because obviously, you know, I'm a taken man, and I want nothing to be misconstrued. Shell is currently looking at me with a funny look. Look, I just want a video game date. I think he's a Swede. I think he's Swedish. I'm pretty sure he's Swedish. I forget. She's still looking at me funny. No. It's just one of those where it's that awkwardness of, like, trying to get in contact with somebody that you've never, like, seen or talked to before, and it's just like, so, you know, you wanna hang... It's like, oh god, it's like making friends in elementary school all over again, which is bad because I was really terrible at that. Ow. Because I moved so much. I was both good and bad at it. You know, I rarely, if ever, made the first move, and I think that's part of the reason why I have this... I'm gonna say neurosis. I don't even know if you count it as a neurosis, but, like, I moved a ton as a kid, like, comical amounts. Every 4 to 5 years, depending. Once was, like, a year and a half in one location. Suffice to say, never was really in one place long enough to have much for, like, permanent contacts. And as such, you know, I've never really had much for permanent friends. In fact, the longest lasting friendship I've maintained, has been, well, Shell. But I think that's kind of one of those where it's kind of a necessity. It would be pretty weird if we weren't maintaining a friendship throughout a relationship. She's giving me another weird look again, by the way. But apart from that, like, probably the longest term friendships I will ever have will be Bird and Keith. And I'm totally cool with that. But it's one of those where, like, I don't really have a whole lot of experience making friends. That was kind of one of my, like, main goals of doing YouTube and stuff, was to, like, make friends, meet people post-college and whatever. I've done a pretty good job of it. The only problem is, you know, my friends don't stick around. That's why I'm leery of working with new people and bringing new people onto the show, working with small YouTubers, because I'm gonna be straight up and honest about this. 90 to 95% of all YouTubers quit before they ever even make it to 100 subs. It's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's really hard to work with if you're if you're in for the long haul. Oh, hey, we actually got Ugarak's tooth. Oops. Waited too long. I'll have to see what it does. Should probably get the Thunder Worm. We kind of need those. Or the Beast Emblem. Let's go with the Beast Emblem. It's the most cost-effective. Even if... I don't really know if I need Beast Emblems. Yeah, I don't think I need them at all. Whatever. Okay, let's see. Drop off the cards. Drop off all of these. We are going to be swimming in resources. I guarantee it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be able to make an infinite amount of healing potions, that's for certain. And I think I just have barely enough money that we could do, we could do a tier 2 run right now if we wanted to. I'm not quite ready for it yet. Mainly because I'm kind of waiting for us to run out of options here. Bonus tech, crit rate. The only thing I'm going to throw money at is if it's bonus experience. Vitality 2 is mildly tempting. But that's for later. Okay. But, let's see. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I'm super nervous about, like, bringing on new people. Because, I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like inviting people to your birthday that you don't know very well. Maybe? I don't know. Or... It's hard to say. It's hard to, like, reach out to quote-unquote new people, new friends, whatnot. Unless, like, you're actually comfortable with the idea of, like, interacting with them. Can I have 2 of these? It looks like I can. Does it stack? 107. 104, it does. Hey, we'll take it. I think I have no reason why not to. I don't think there are any other ability chips that I feel like using here. So what's it up to? 6. Eh. This will take a while. We should probably go to the Bifrost or do Challenge 2. Both will probably be worth the effort. Okay. But you know, as a result, it's like, it's hard. You know, people quit all the time. And, you know, you don't get used to that. You don't get used to losing friends. Because, gonna be honest, the moment my YouTube friends stopped being YouTubers, they more or less stopped being my friends. Some of that is my fault, for sure. You know, I'm so business focused, it's hard for me to just hang out with people. But I find, like, the moment somebody stops doing YouTube, they also stop being reliable. And, like, that's the thing, it's like having friends that, you know, only show up to hangout times maybe once a month. Whenever it's, like, really convenient for them, and they'll usually have, like, a weird excuse. Like, they've been drinking too much, or they went to the pool today and their hair's wet. Or, you know, they're just tired, and they really just couldn't make it. You know, that kind of thing. That's always frustrating, and I've always had, like, you know, kind of separate issues with that sort of thing. But it's one of those where, like, who's a good example? Well, okay, so, I don't know, probably none of you guys here listening to this will remember, but I had a friend, Crafty Gnomes. Good guy, quite funny, especially when he wanted to be. Him and Lost Spider, 2 great examples of, like, YouTube-y friends that they fell off the map so hard the moment they stopped doing YouTubing, because, you know, there was no longer a, like, shared reason to hang out. It's like, friends that you met in a club, and then, you know, club ends, or maybe summer happens, and you just don't see them for a month. We are taking some damage here. We'll probably be fine if I just sit here and stuff. But yeah, so for the both of those guys, you know, they stopped doing YouTube stuff, and we've effectively stopped being friends. No hard feelings, it's just kind of the way it works, and that's really hard to deal with. Whoops. Well, I guess that was kind of necessary anyway. And, like, that sort of thing is really hard. And it's why I'm always, like, nervous about meeting new people, because, you know, is this just going to be another person that's not worth my time? And the answer is, like, 90% of the time, yeah. Like, oh God. I guess on the topic of, like, new YouTubers and younger YouTubers that I try and, like, take under my wing. I mean, Gnomes was a good example. Spider and I started at the same time. I think he started right a little bit before I did, but, I mean, for all intents and purposes, we were in the same boat together across the board. I'm taking a ton of damage here because these dumb rocks. You'd think they'd at least make the rocks look more dangerous for the amount of damage they do. Oh well. But yeah, so, you know, I was trying to bring Spider along, help him out, teach him SEO, thumbnail, tips, tricks, whatever. And he quits. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's totally your life choice, and obviously not everybody is focused on making YouTube their, like, #1 career. I totally get that. But, you know, after that, it's just like, well, that was it. We didn't talk for months. He got a boyfriend, and I'm like, oh, cool, when this happened? He's like, well, months ago, and I'm like, oh. Ooh. I saw one of these things that I've never seen before. Shiny. Alright. Let's keep working on this, too. And, yeah, so I didn't see Spider for months at all. Ooh, Ugarok's hat. Damn, that's a good thing. I mean, it's slightly worse than what I've got, but across-the-board stats, though. Ooh. Also, yeah. I'm gonna throw this over here with Ugarok's tooth. We're getting some interesting stuff. Yeah, we'll probably dump myself up a higher tier or something. Ooh, monster drops plus. Good stuff. Okay, but, yeah, so almost heard nothing from him, and, you know, usually when you ghost out on a friend like that, it's kind of hard to reconnect. I'd say. Maybe some people have an easier time of it, but I definitely don't. After a while, it's just like, yep. Things definitely aren't the way they used to be, and that, I mean, for the most part, isn't a problem. But it is awkward and it is weird, and ultimately it's kind of hard to deal with, especially when, like, a lot of my relationships, people center around playing video games and whatnot. What's that, projectile range? It might be worth it. I have no idea if that applies to my axe. That's an interesting question. No, don't leave this thing behind. I'm putting way too much work into it to just toss it on the ground. Do we want to go? No, you know what? This is just going to be Challenge 1. Next episode will be Challenge 2, I guess. But yeah, so, Spider, whatever. Yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, after the point where he decides to stop working on his channel, he also stops hanging out. And so, you know, it'll go from, like, you know, weekly game sessions to seeing him every once in a while, maybe. Talking every once in a while, maybe. Same thing with gnomes. And, like, this is especially true of, like, college students. I actually have a lot of trouble with college students, especially ones with active social lives or other things. This is gonna hurt. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, we lucked out on this one. It's working out pretty well for us. I love this axe. I don't know, it's really nice. Okay, but, you know, nothing against college students or even high schoolers and stuff, but it's easier when people are older and kind of have better scheduling, like, nothing's rougher than scheduling some kind of, like, lengthy collab session with a person only to find out that they've been procrastinating on their homework and suddenly can't show up because they're too busy. Why? Because they were too busy to do their homework. Why? Because they were out drinking or partying or any number of things. I don't know. I'm kind of a no excuses type person. Like, I'm understanding if it's obviously, like, beyond your control. But I also understand, like, being a college student or a high school student, like, you have ample free time if you actually know how to manage it. I certainly did. Spent the first 2 years of college. I mean, I was, like, working and stuff, but I wasn't working as hard as I could have. Definitely not on the right things. And then by the time I hit senior year, I'm like, alright, I'm going to be workaholic, never see the light of day type person. And actually, you know, I got a lot happier as a result of it. It was stressful, but, I mean, I got shit done. It was good. It was better than, like, procrastinating on my homework to watch, like, Tropic Thunder with some guys at, like, 2 a.m. Though, I will admit, Tropic Thunder was surprisingly good. And I'm not entirely sure if that was, you know, 2, 3 in the morning, or if it was just because Tropic Thunder is actually good. I don't think it's the latter. I could be wrong. I have a pretty low opinion of Ben Stiller, admittedly. Robert Downey Jr. definitely made that movie. But yeah, so, like, I barely ever saw gnomes, or Spider, or so on and so forth afterwards, and it's like, oh, let's grab the star emblem, let's grab the gas. Strength 2 is tempting. We'll do it, I got the money for it. Anything to boost up my damage a little bit more is usually a pretty good thing. And that's got to be like 2 or 3. I wonder if I could just max out my strength, just be ultra bulk, crazy damage man. I don't know. Interesting question. Ooh, and it's a +7, not just a +3. Good stuff. Okay, let's just keep dropping these resources. Luckily, this this tab is maxed out, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, I got my experience on Ring of Bolt's axe again. Whatever. I'm kind of in autopilot mode, and I will be making mistakes here. Nothing fatal, luckily, I hope. But still. I have no idea what Lenny was saying there. Interesting question. Well, one way or another. But yeah, so you know, it's kind of one of those where it's like, it's hard meeting new people. And I've tried, like, working with much more oh. Meteor shower. Get out of there, cadet. Okay. This is why I keep a stack of T3 medkits on my inventory. In my inventory. There we go. Oh, that was not worth it. This was not worth it. Okay, well, that's the end of that. Whew. Okay, that was expensive. Fuck the meteor shower. Whew. If you could, like, blast him out of the way, that'd be great. Hey, at least it was actually a surprising amount of experience for fighting, like, 2 things. Okay, there we go. I don't think I saw anything particularly good here. I'll probably go with the Thunderworm. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna have nothing to do with that. Well, that's one way to sort of end a run, sort of not end a run. That's just another strength 1. We'll grab the claw emblem. Because it's easier than farming them. That was a thing. It's just another Cromwell ring. Which really, we don't need, but it's nice having spares. Okay, so let's drop that off. Go back here, drop all of these off when we can. Oh, really? Maxed out on Beast Claws, or that's our only one. Okay, one way or another. We're not sticking around for that area. Let's keep going back. So I think we're in a good spot. I'll have to see how much money I currently have. Let's heal up to full, though. Because I wouldn't mind doing Challenge 2, but that'll have to be the next episode. But yeah, so effectively, I'm nervous as hell. And it's always one of those where it's like, I know I need to, like, push my borders, but I also have so little time that it's just like, it's easy to just stick with the people I know. And again, somebody's always going to volunteer themselves, and it's like, I really have to only work with accomplished YouTubers as much as it would be fun to work with other people. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned, I just want to say this before I go, somebody had mentioned on a previous video how I was talking about how much work I had to do, and it seemed like I was suffering for it. I love what I do. I love my job. This is like 3 episodes ahead of, like, I put up episode 21 today, and I think this is episode, like, 23, 24. I'm recording ahead, not because I need to, necessarily, because I got plenty of time tomorrow. I'm doing this because I'm having fun. I like this job. It's enjoyable. And it's one of those where I really enjoy, you know, recording. And I really enjoy making videos for you guys. And then I suffer for my work, but, I mean, who doesn't in a, I guess, industry not of passion? That's a little weird. But, you know, who doesn't suffer a little bit for the work that they love? And so, yeah, when I say that, like, it's a ton of work and I'm stressed and tired all the time, it's not big. I don't hate it. I'm having a blast. But I do need to go, so I'll see you guys on the next episode of, just trying to see if I have any other cards to sell here. No, surprisingly not. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Roguelands. And as always, thanks for watching. Almost sold the sword. That would have been bad. But yeah, we'll do Challenge 2 next. We gotta get that sword up to level 10. Because we do that, oh, we're good. I'll have to make sure I give it the right crystal. I might also try and get some, maybe I'll get my cadet buckler up. Maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. I'd rather have full legendary set before I try something silly like that.